Hello, welcome to Bible Quiz Fellowship Game Day. I'm Quincy, that's Austin. Where's Nate?
Nate is adult quizzing.
Nate ate his hat and he's sick. No, he didn't. But yes, he's adult quizzing. And good luck to you, Nate. I'm going to try, for those of you Nate fans, and we all are, really. For those of you Nate fans, I'll try to do a quick hit with Nate in the morning to kind of get his thoughts, because they're always good thoughts. But so far, I think his bracket rankings are looking pretty good. So overall, I think this is a nice deep tournament.
Yep.
There's a lot of good teams, and I think, sometimes we say this, and then the usual suspects run away with things. But I do think that there's a chance to see some, new blood making some waves up in the top. And I mean, what was it last year that Third Day was ranked so high?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Mm-hmm. So yeah, kind of a year like that to continue to see a different team in the top three than usual, and maybe get a surprise in the championship. That'd be exciting.
Yeah. There were 18 quizzes today that had a 500 or higher score, and a lot of different teams put up those points. But if you drop down to the 400s, I decided not to count that because there were so many. And so there's been a lot of points. But right in that mix, there's been some teams that have put up those points down in the hundreds and 200s, struggling against some competition too, not even when they're facing each other. So it's been fun to watch.
Obviously, Ribbon's always great, Moxie's always great, but some teams that stood out to me today, Quiz Mastering, I thought Messengers looked really good. I thought Dead BC looked excellent. They just really had a great rhythm going and seemed very disciplined about how they approach things. Anybody else stand out to you?
Kingdom was doing very well. I believe they jumped the initial rankings or predictions by quite a few spots. Supernova also looked pretty sharp when I saw them as well. And maybe not gaudy in the record, but there's some smart quizzing going on out there right now. And
yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing how these teams continue to go tomorrow.
And quiz mastering, I just say, man, going between 6 books in these first and seconds, it is a lot. It's a lot. Yep. I'm not saying it's obviously not anywhere near as hard as it is to memorize everything, but be lenient to your quiz masters because there'll be the occasional flub up, but that's all right.
I'm 50-50 on 11-11.
Oh, 11-11. Why is that so hard? Why is 11-11 so hard?
My apologies to whoever I messed that up.
It happens. All right. Well, let's highlight some quizzes for you tomorrow. So if you follow along on Quizzing Live, these are maybe some quizzes to pay attention to.
All right. Right off at 9 a.m., we have a fun Revelation Moxie Third Day quiz. Those are some teams that get talked about a lot these days in the last couple of years, and that's going to be pretty brutal. Do you know who the quizmaster is in Site 3?
I can't remember who's quizmaster in Site 3.
All right, I'll come back to you on that one.
Can you figure that out?
I'll figure that out and on the background.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. At 10 a.m., then in Site 5, there's Cephas, Riven, and Revelation. Riven and Revelation may not be undefeated at that point, but currently, rumor is they're undefeated. So we'll see if they can both manage to be undefeated then somebody's not going to be at the end of that. Cephas, man, those guys are trying hard, but it's probably one of those. They're towards the lower side of the bracket. They're a fun team for sure, but it'll be mostly probably Revelation going back and forth. Interesting dynamic. I think you said Thomas Gossel's quiz mastering that one. So Riven is obviously we're familiar with him. Though Revelation has seen him at nationals quite a bit. Good quizmaster, and Dead BC and Astonished and Kingdom at the same time are playing in Site 10. Dead BC, Astonished, and Kingdom should be an excellent quiz for some of those teams we're talking about. Astonished had some really good scores, and I saw some controlled quizzing from them when I was looking on Quizzing Live. So who's quizmaster in Site 3?
This is going to be good. Kim Cooper.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So
wow.
That was worth coming back down.
Yeah.
Coming back around to.
Right. Kim Cooper with Revelation, Moxie, and Third Day. I may just have to say somebody else needs to do my quiz, and I'll go watch that one. No. All right. So then the other one that you wanted to highlight, Austin, what do you got there?
Just another really good quiz, and now this is going to be 3 highlights of Revelation here, but we can't not mention Unshadowed Messengers and Revelation to begin the afternoon tomorrow. So Rev actually has a pretty tough schedule, so we'll see how they can stand up with that. But Messengers, like you said, they put up a 780 today, and Unshadowed is right up there in the rankings and making it tough for anybody who wants to face them.
In my quiz, in my quiz site, Messengers had the second highest score, and WC had the highest. So yeah, Messengers was definitely good, and that'll be a good measuring stick quiz for them playing two good teams like that, two great teams like that, and Front Shadow too. Unshadowed's a real spunky team, I would say, and wouldn't be shocked to see them come out with the first there. That would be cool.
Jim
All right.
Chickasee will be quiz mastering that.
Oh, Jim Chickasee. All right.
Quiz, and he can give some more words, so we'll see who can power through and get the points on that one.
Yeah. Could possibly be a disadvantage for Messengers as they don't see Jim all the time, but they may also have seen him a few times this tournament. Who knows? Finally, at 3 o'clock tomorrow in Site 15 is Rooted, Astonished, and Zenith. And we mentioned Astonished before, but we also wanted to mention Rooted, which is GFC Northwest top team, and Zenith, one of the other teams from Summit. Both of those very good teams. That should be an excellent quiz. And if you're looking for something at the end of the day, you're like, oh man, when I watch a quiz before quizzing's over for Friday, that would be a good one to catch.
Yeah. So there's lots of good quizzing ahead. And we've got some more buys happening tomorrow. Lots in the final slot tomorrow, all at once, grouped up there. So it's going to be pretty brutal for some of these guys. And the endurance is there. Everybody go get some good sleep tonight, okay? Don't watch this video too long.
And I wanted to say, obviously, lots of good quizzing today. Those Price kids, they're amazing. I love watching them quiz. And I was complimenting them on their creative Bible names. I love going off the board with some of those, like Jail, and that's awesome. But those are great quizzers. But JT Miller from Messengers really impressed me when he was in my room, and was really amazed with the jumping that he had, as well as knowing his stuff perfectly. So there's a really great quizzers all around. And I think one thing that I would say is, we always talk about whether anybody can knock Riven off, or whether anybody can stop the Riven and Moxie winning the championship. And I would just be clear that, like, I don't go here like desperate to see that happen. They're great quizzers. If they win, that's amazing, and I'm just impressed by it. It's just one of those things that it's fun to see if the upset can happen, if the underdog can win, and if that happens, that'd be cool. But if not, I just want to emphasize that, man, I'm just always impressed by those guys and how well they quiz.
Yeah, for sure. And again, with the high scores that we've seen put up this tournament by quite a few teams, pretty much any team I think in the top 10 has had a pretty high score at least once in the current top 10, whatever that is. That's a good recipe for some really fun competition on Saturday too. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that high score trend continues tomorrow among many teams, or if we kind of come back down to earth a little bit here. But it's fun to watch them scoring points for sure.
And I today I felt good about one thing, Austin. I only had one question where I was like, oh, we should have also asked that one this way. It was a how question that was answered finally, and I was like, oh, we should have also included when as a possible way to ask that, and we didn't in that particular case. So I was like, okay, I feel pretty good that it was only one that I found like that.
Well, worth mentioning, I had a how question on my screen, and the quizzer came and gave me the as what question, and it confused me. So I had to stop and look at that for a good 20 seconds before I gave him points, but he got the points. So, yeah.
As well he should. I feel like quizzers don't make quite as many hows as I expect. I think if I get stuck, I'd just make a how, because how can really
Why
fit
is the new
almost
how? Can I just say that? Why is the new how?
Yeah, which is crazy. I've noticed that. Because why seems so much narrower. You got to have cause and effect, whereas how is really just like an amorphous what happened,
How did something happen? In the way it happened.
Yeah.
In what manner?
Okay, well, probably we should stop talking about question making. I don't suppose anybody watches the videos for that. But
nobody come after the why questions now. Just let's leave those alone, please.
Nobody come out of this nationals and start talking about flip-flops. Anyway, all right. So, so anyway, yeah, it was great. It was so great to be back. I just love quizzers. They're just so much fun to watch and see like all their different mannerisms and they're just automatic all the time when they get enough words and they're automatic when they have a quote they're automatic. I don't think I had a single person mess up a quote today. Now obviously they didn't guess quotes sometimes, but if they knew it was a quote, I don't think I had a single person mess up a quote, and I thought that's a good day because I like to hear people quote things.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thanks, Austin. And like I said, I'll try to get a little video up with Nate in the morning, and hopefully he's dominating in adult quizzing.
All right. Have a good night.